Good morning. Welcome to day 46. And we are going to be doing another nonfiction text connection since it's Thursday. And today's article that we're going to be reading is called Alice Coachman Jumps for the Sky by Barbara Kramer. So let's read the text together. Our focus for this week as we're reading is understanding the main idea. So when we're annotating, we're going to pay really specific attention to what pieces of evidence would support the main idea. Alice Coachman Jumps for the Sky by Barbara Kramer, 2017. And then I come across this awesome gray box, which you all know that I feel is like a present from the author or from the editor, because this is an introduction that always gives us priceless information to use moving forward. So let's go ahead and take a special close look at this introduction. Alice Coachman, 1923 to 2014, those are the years that she was alive, was an African-American athlete who specialized in the high jump, an event where an athlete jumps unaided over a metal bar placed at measured heights. In this informational text, Barbara Kramer provides further information about Coachman's life and accomplishments. As you read, take notes on Coachman's accomplishments in the high jump. So it is very clear to me that the sentence that says in this informational text really is going to give us the main idea. So let's read that sentence again. In this informational text, Barbara Kramer provides further information about Coachman's life and accomplishments. So this article is going to give us information about her life and accomplishments. So as we read, we need to annotate evidence of her accomplishments throughout her life. Let's go ahead and start on paragraph 1. 3-year-old Alice Coachman walked with her hands behind her back, imitating her great-grandmother during their stroll on a steamy Georgia day. But as hard as she tried, Alice could not copy great-grandmother's slow pace. Soon she skipped and ran ahead as she always did. Nothing could hold Alice back. Alice was the 5th oldest in a family of 10 children. Everyone in her family had work to do. By the time Alice was 10, she was picking cotton, peaches, and beans to earn money for her family. When Alice wasn't working or attending the all-black school in her neighborhood, her parents expected her to stay home and act like a lady. Alice thought that was no fun at all, so she hightailed it over the backyard fence and sprinted off to the park to play with the boys. I just want to underline the sentence at the end of paragraph 1. It says, nothing could hold Alice back. So Alice, apparently, even from a young age, was really determined, and that sentence proves it. There's Alice right there. Next page, or next section, I'm sorry. A star jumper. Alice joined the boys in softball games and ran races with them. Sometimes they had jumping contests. They tied rags together to make a rope. Then 2 boys held up the rope, stretching it tight so the others could jump over it. The boys bragged that they could beat her, but Alice replied, "You just try." She knew that she could jump higher than any of them. Every year in May, the Tuskegee Relays were held in Tuskegee, Alabama. Students from all black high schools and colleges took part in the big track meet. In 1939, when Alice was 16, she entered the relays and competed in the high jump. It was her first meet, and it was all new to her. Every time the announcer called her name, the coach told Alice to jump, and that's just what she did. It wasn't long before her teammates were running toward her and shouting that she had won. Alice had jumped 5 feet, breaking both the high school and college records. So remember that we're trying to prove that Alice had great accomplishments. Therefore, we're going to underline that last sentence we just read. Alice had jumped 5 feet, breaking both the high school and college records. Also, I want to go ahead and circle in 1939 when Alice was 16 because that's useful information. Going for gold. Alice continued to compete. She placed first in national high jump events 10 years in a row, but unfortunately she was unable to take part in the biggest event of all, the Olympic Games. They were canceled in 1940 and 1944 because of World War II. It wasn't until 1948, after the war was over, that Alice had her chance to compete in the Olympics in London, England. On the day of the high jump event, rain made the jumping surface wet, but the slippery ground did not hold Alice back. Soon the competition was down to two: Dorothy Odom Tyler and Alice. They matched each other jump for jump. Then the bar was raised to a little more than 5 feet 6 inches, about as high as the top of a refrigerator. Alice cleared the bar and won the event, setting a new Olympic record. Alice stood on the champion's podium to receive her gold medal from King George VI. That day, Alice leaped into history as the first African American woman to win an Olympic gold medal. The young girl who had once outjumped the boys at her neighborhood park was now an Olympic champion. The sentence I wanted to highlight here was Alice cleared the bar and won the event, setting a new Olympic record. I also want to point out another sentence, and I don't have it underlined, but in that same paragraph, in paragraph 9, where we just underlined that sentence in red, the second sentence says, "But the slippery ground did not hold Alice back." Oftentimes, an author will repeat something in order to make it more, to stand out more to you. And there is a repetitive theme throughout this, that Alice could not be held back. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, your daily task for today is to jot down the main idea in the larger area, and then 3 supporting details that support that main idea. Remember, when you're given an introduction, please use the introduction. It is a gift. So the introduction oftentimes will just provide you with the main idea. Use it. Also, use the annotations that we just completed to help you with your supporting details.